Okay, just picture this for a second. You close your eyes, you start to drift off, and somewhere in that space between being awake and being totally out, something incredible happens. You find yourself somewhere else entirely. A place that's so vivid, so real, you could absolutely swear you're there.
I mean, have you ever woken up with that lingering feeling that you didn't just have a dream? You actually lived a whole other life. It's a really profound experience, right? And it makes you wonder, is sleep really just about biology, or is it something much, much bigger?
You know, for ages, we've been told that sleep is basically just downtime for the body, a biological pit stop. But what if it's actually uptime for the soul? What if while your physical body is recharging, your consciousness, your very self, is out there, journeying to other realities? This isn't some new age idea, by the way. This is a concept ancient mystics have been exploring for thousands of years.
To really get this, we have to go back, way back, because this idea of sleep as a portal isn't a modern fantasy at all. It's deeply, deeply rooted in ancient wisdom. For so many of our ancestors, going to sleep wasn't just about resting. It was a sacred journey.
And what's so wild is just how universal this belief was. You look at the priests in ancient Egypt who used actual dream temples to get divine guidance. Then you've got the ancient Greeks who would sleep in special sanctuaries, literally hoping to dream up a cure for what ailed them. Over in Vedic India, yogis saw dreams as a direct line to the astral world. And of course, shamans all over the globe trained for years to consciously travel through their dreams to get wisdom. For all these cultures, the dream world wasn't fake. It was another reality.
And this wasn't just some mystical thing either. It was a serious philosophical idea. The great philosopher Plato basically said that when we sleep, our soul gets untethered from our body and it's free to go out and access these deeper, hidden truths of the universe. I mean, that gives this whole idea some serious intellectual weight, right?
Okay, so let's jump forward in time and see how this ancient wisdom started bumping up against modern science. Because as scientists began to map the brain, they also had to start wrestling with this huge mystery of dreams. And that led to some really fascinating and often totally conflicting theories about what's really going on up there.
So on one side, you've got the famous Sigmund Freud. He thought dreams were basically all about us, our personal, repressed desires, and all our internal baggage playing out. But then his own student, Carl Jung, took it way further. He suggested that our dreams connect us to something he called the collective unconscious, like a shared hard drive of human memory and symbols. And Jung's idea, well, that starts to build a bridge back to that older, more mystical view of a shared reality.
Now, a huge piece of this puzzle is lucid dreaming. This is that incredible aha moment when you're in the middle of a dream and suddenly you realize, wait a second, I'm dreaming. And once you know, you can become an active participant. You can literally decide to fly or change the scenery or talk to the characters in your dream. It's a scientifically verified state, and it proves our consciousness can be fully on even when our body is completely asleep.
And then you have the even stranger phenomenon, the out-of-body experience, or OBE. This is a whole other level. It's that distinct feeling that your awareness, your consciousness, has actually left your physical body. People report floating up to the ceiling, looking down at themselves sleeping in bed, and then exploring the room. Researchers like Robert Monroe have documented thousands of these cases, which really makes you question if our awareness is permanently locked inside our heads.
This all leads to a massive question that even mainstream science is asking now. Is consciousness really just a byproduct of the brain? I mean, think about the neurosurgeon Eben Alexander, who had a complex near-death experience while his brain was medically documented as being completely offline. Or top-tier physicists like Roger Penrose, who suggest consciousness might be a quantum process happening on a level we don't even understand yet. And then there's the whole mystery of dreams that seem to predict the future, like Abraham Lincoln's famous and chilling dream about his own assassination. These are the things that the old biological model just can't explain.
Okay, so we've talked history, we've talked science, which is all super interesting. But what if you actually want to explore this for yourself? This isn't just theory. There are practical methods developed over centuries to help you consciously step into that dream world. So let's look at a little guide for how you can cross that threshold.
This 5-step method is a fantastic way to start. First, you set the stage. That means no screens before bed, just a clear, simple intention. Second, you build the bridge with some calming, meditative breathing. Third, as you're drifting off, just passively watch the images that pop into your head and repeat a simple mantra. Fourth is the fun part. Once you're dreaming, do a reality check. Looking at your hands is a classic one. And if you see a symbol like a door or a mirror, go for it. Cross through it. And finally, number 5, and this is so important. When you wake up, don't move. Just lie there and replay the dream, then grab a journal and write down every single detail you can remember. Like anything, practice makes perfect.
So when you start to pull all these threads together, the ancient wisdom, the scientific puzzles, the hands-on techniques, it really points to a massive rethinking of what sleep and maybe even what reality itself really is. And believe me, where this is all heading is just as mind-blowing.
We are on the verge of a brand new era here. I'm talking about AI and new brain-computer interfaces that are exploring ideas straight out of science fiction. Things like being able to record our dreams and watch them later, or maybe even shared dreaming, where two people could meet up in the same dreamscape. The line between our inner world and the outer world is getting fuzzier every day.
So in the end, it seems like there are 3 main ways you can look at this whole thing. You can see dreams as just a biological process, the brain tidying up. Or you can see them as a psychological release valve, a way for your subconscious to let off steam. Or you can see them the way our ancestors did, as a genuine spiritual journey, a nightly voyage of the soul.
But look, if there is one crucial thing to take away from all of this, it's this. Your consciousness does not just switch off when your head hits the pillow. It doesn't stop. It just changes its focus. It awakens on another level, in another reality. Sleep isn't the absence of consciousness. It's the expansion of it.
And that really just leaves one final, very personal question for you. The next time you lie down to sleep, don't just think of it as checking out for 8 hours. Think of it as an opportunity. An adventure. When you close your eyes tonight, where will you travel?